Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast. So, one of the teams that's in the Super Bowl, the 49ers, is getting some backlash from NFL owners, but we don't know which NFL owners. And this particular backlash is because the 49ers are hiring minorities, people of color, and they get compensated with compensatory picks, right? And apparently the 49ers have been the main team to really exercise this rule, right? In 2020, the NFL created a new rule designed to reward teams that develop minorities in coaching and front office roles. Under the rule, if a team has a minority coach or executive hired away to become another team's head coach or general manager, that the team that developed the coach or executive gets 2 third-round compensatory picks. It's been a good rule for the 49ers. Since the rule was implemented, the 49ers have seen Robert Saleh hired to become the Jets coach. Martin Mayhew hired away to be Washington's general manager. Mike McDaniel hired, the Dolphins head coach. Rand Carthen hired away to be the Titans general manager. D'Amico Ryans to be the Texans head coach. But there appears to be some opposition with the league to the 49ers' success. According to Seth Wickersham at ESPN, owners have complained to the league office about the number of compensatory picks the 49ers have received for developing coaches and executives of color. The report doesn't state which owners, but I mean, I don't have a problem with this, right? At the end of the day, the NFL got beat over the head, and it still does get beat over the head for we don't have enough black coaches, black coordinators, X, Y, and Z, right? And part of that, yes, is true. Maybe it's a good old boy system, maybe it's not. Maybe some of these coaches just haven't performed well. A combination of that, but I think that there are plenty that still should be looked at for opportunity, not because they're black, but if their merits warranted, then what's the problem here, right? And then for a team like the 49ers, who's been in NFC Championship games, who's been in Super Bowls, right? I don't see a problem with it. The NFL, the owners agreed to it. If the owners had a problem with it, then they should have stopped it then, right? If you don't want teams to be rewarded for hiring minorities, then put a stamp to it then, But no one wants to be the owner to say, to not reward teams for hiring, people of color, right? Well, if the owners could have put a stop to this if they had really took into consideration the Rooney Rule, right? A lot of times they would just interview a minority coach just to check that box, right? And then they go on with a guy that they already had in mind, okay? And then a recycle coach or a special teams coach out of nowhere, gets the job, has nothing to do with his race, but he's taken over a minority coach who probably was in a coordinated position of some sort and probably had a much more higher role, right? So the owners are mad at themselves, and then they're getting mad at the 49ers for doing this. I mean, considering where the 49ers are located from a geographical standpoint, I'm not shocked by this at all, right? As a Steelers fan, we have the Rooney Rule. We implemented that, and then we've had Mike Tomlin for damn near 20 years, right? I still think he needs to go, but he's been fairly successful during his tenure, right? So, look, man, the owners can't have it both ways. If they had really cared, they would have stopped this, but nobody wants to be the owner to go against hiring minorities, right? Now, for the 49ers, interesting this is coming out, considering Super Bowl week and everything like that, drawing attention. And people are going to use this as a negative, right? And, at the end of the day, I believe in fair play across the board, right? You hire the best you hire the best person, the best candidate for the job. Okay. What really gets into question here is when certain people are hired over others, when the ones who are hired, their resume doesn't warrant the job. Even though they may be a great person, they still need to have some level of resume, right? Now, for the 49ers, listen, it seemed like it worked because these guys went on to get other jobs. It wasn't like these 49ers hired them, they let them go, you know, and these guys weren't successful to anywhere else. Right now, Salah is different. The New York Jets is a mess. That might be a bad one, right? But you know, D'Amico Ryan, Mike McDaniels. Now Mike McDaniels is considered black. That was a shocker to me. So whatever. Hey, he qualified. It is what it is, right? So, you know, the 49ers are going to be the ones to take take minorities in, develop them, whatever it is, for their gain. Cool. And for the minority coaches, they get a gain by, you know, getting experience with a successful franchise, and then they get to go on and potentially get a job of their own, right? So it's a win-win. I don't see a problem with it. Other teams can do this too. You know, it's not like the 49ers are only allowed to do it. That's the crazy part about all this too, is that whoever is complaining about it, you guys are allowed to do this as well too. You know what I'm saying? Diversify your candidacy pool for your positions. And if some of those minority candidates happen to fit your culture and are truly qualified and you like them, I have no problem bringing them in. If you don't, no problem. They didn't meet it. But if you like them, you bring them in. That's also an added bonus that, hey, you get to get some picks, right? So it's open for everybody. This is not a situation of going woke and all this other stuff. It's like, yo, like when you are not diverse and looking at your entire outreach of candidates, right? Then you may miss something. You may miss a gem as well, right? So it's one of those types of things where it's like, yo, like, you know, broaden your horizon, you know, to complain about it when you can do the same thing. Not that you have to. NFL didn't implement this and force y'all to hire black coaches or hire minorities. No, but they incentivize it if you do, if you happen to find one, right? So weird coming from the owners that allowed this. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.